to the party.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, we are live to do a cover reveal for AR Witham, author of The Legend of Blackjack and the Tale of the Border Knight. Oddly enough, dedicated to me,
The man himself.
the man himself. But we do have AR. AR, what have you been up to? Let's talk a little bit before we get into this cover reveal.
I have, first of all, I need to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And for more things than just one, right? The novella is dedicated to you for plenty of different reasons. But number one, for those of you who don't know, Andrew was the guy who originally said, "Hey, I kind of like this stupid book." and, and without Andrew, nobody would have ever paid any attention to it. So I owe whatever audience I've got to Andrew. And Fuji, we actually have got a Fuji crochet doll over in the kitchen. We made like 6 of them to give away. We raised money with Fuji dolls to give away to charity for a foundation that supports foster kids.
Oh, nice.
But more than that, Andrew was really encouraging afterwards and said, "Hey, maybe you should write another book, dummy." And
I
so
remember for like 6 months, I'd be like, "Hey, AR, how's writing going?" And you just flip me the bird.
It's like, it's going that well. That's how. But the answer to the question, how's it going, man? Once you start and dig in, it is so time consuming and so like all consuming. Like I think my family may miss me. I don't know. I haven't seen them in a while. But
that's fine.
Yeah, I'm doing.
They don't even know you have facial hair,
right? They're like, we last saw you in the spring. But I'm doing like 4 hours a day, right?
Just writing.
Yeah, just writing and putting things together. And it's thank you. It's been great. It's also like it takes away everything else, right? TV is gone, social is gone, any kind of whatever. Like that's it, because you only have so many hours in the day. Yeah, and I do need to be, around for the family. And then, of course, I was the idiot that decided to write something that was 3 books all at the same time.
Why didn't you? What was the decision to do all 3 just in one shot?
So, Essa Hansen, right? She wrote Azura Ghost.
Yes.
She did. I was asking a bunch of authors about, hey, if you're going to write a trilogy, what would you have done differently? And Essa said, hey, honestly, I would have written it all at the same time and gotten it all done so that I knew exactly what I was doing before, we set foot out into the public. So I took that to heart, and I gotta be honest, I don't know that I would recommend it because it's a ridiculous amount of work in a very truncated period of time. Like I didn't want to be a dwarf in the tunnel chipping away for 10 years and then like a pop up at the end and go, okay, here it's done. I wanted to be able to get it done pretty quickly. But I will say that the story has been improved because of it, because it gives you the opportunity. Like an outline is one thing, but you get into the writing and the characters kind of start making their own decisions and new and interesting emotions come up. You're like, oh, I want to play into that. And so it gives you the opportunity where like book 3, you're doing a scene and you're like, oh, this would be perfect if only I had set it up in book 2. Hey, wait a second. I haven't released book 2.
So you can go back and you can kind of add in a plot thread and make sure it weaves all the way through.
Right.
That's a good thing.
You can make sure the pickaxe is hanging in the right spot on the side of the cave so that they can come and get it later.
Yeah, fair enough. I just got a question. For the first cover, The Crimes of Rooker Flynn, why spiders?
Well,
for anybody who hasn't seen it, it's out there on the Google. You can go see it.
Yeah.
It's spiders.
It's spiders. It basically serves as a content warning.
So is this going to be a lot more adult fantasy? Because like I know Legend of Blackjack kind of leaned more towards YA adventure.
Yeah.
So is
The
this your foray into adult epic?
According to the alpha readers, it is much more adult than Blackjack was, and may or may not be appropriate for YA. I haven't really made up my mind yet for what I'm gonna label it under, but I think it's about the same level as Red Rising, where you've got
Okay.
a lot of kind of adult themes going on, but
How much Red Rising have you read?
huh? Oh yeah, right. Just the one. Just the one.
Just the one. Okay, so the first book kind of toes that line, and then from Golden Sun on, there's some very not appropriate for children stuff
Yeah,
in there.
we're gonna do adult. So yeah, I would say it's about on par with the first book of Red Rising.
Okay,
Hey,
that's
Layla.
fair. Layla popping in to say hi.
Oh my gosh, I'm just seeing all these.
Oh yeah,
everybody.
we got some people in here saying hi.
That's very, very
Yeah.
nice of them. So,
So-
why are there spiders? So most of the story has to do with something called the Locke Institute. And the Locke Institute is a place where people can go who have made some poor decisions in their lives and be instructed on how to be better people.
So it's a rehabilitation facility, aka prison.
Sure. It's a school. It's a school.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it just so happens that the island that it's on is populated by a large number of spiders. So yeah, if you're freaked out by spiders, this is not a book for you. What did Nico say?
Oh, because you attributed it to Red Rising, and he doesn't like Darrow at all.
I'd be more than happy to have that conversation. JCM Byrne and I just read that together, and we had a really good time with it. I just kind of enjoyed the way it was structured. I can understand not liking Darrow, but we had a good time with it.
I'm actually coming back, and I'm going back to Red Rising, but we're getting off topic.
Okay.
So you're doing the audiobooks as well, or is that coming after release? And are you using your same setup as Legend of Blackjack?
Am I going down to Ray Skillman?
Yeah. Do you still have the same hookup?
Oh yeah, I definitely still have the same hookup. The problem is the drive, right? It's an hour down and an hour back. So I've got my own microphone set up at home. I've got a sound deadener box to talk into. So as soon as the first book is ready for the final proofread, then I do that as the as the audiobook. It's like this layering stack of books. It's like, okay, book 3 is ready to go to the alpha readers. Send it off. Okay, go back and rewrite the third draft of the first book. As soon as that's done, that goes off to the line editor. You move into the second book, so that can go off to the line editor. It's just one after another. It's a lot of fun because everything is always moving. So,
well, hey, at this point, you'll now have a body of work,
dude. In this community, like as an author, you look around and you're like, I don't count, right? Because everybody has this nice stack. And until you've got 3 or 4 or 5 books going, it's like you don't feel like you're one of the club. And it's okay,
imposter syndrome rearing its ugly head. But
yeah, a little bit of imposter syndrome and a little bit of, hey, good job, you got lucky once. Can you do it again? And like, right, where's your proof? And so it's like, okay, do the best job you can, put it together for everybody, and get it out there and see what they have to say.
So why were you reluctant? Because I'm gonna grill you a little bit. Why were you reluctant to come back and write?
Because it's really hard. Children of Time, I actually read while I was putting together, what was it, the second book? And there aren't a lot of similarities. Children of Time is actually a lot like Werner Vinge, and has a lot of pieces that go together with the intelligent spiders and the kind of talking thing. But no, these are more animalistic. But the question was, why did I not want to? Because it takes a ton of effort, right? You got to put in part of your soul in order to make it really work. And I honestly thought, okay, I've got this book written. Let's just get it out into the world. I can one and done. Nobody will ever pay attention to it. And, I can have one on my shelf. That was pretty much the entire goal. So, and I'm not kidding. You are the reason why I'm writing this thing.
Well, hey, you made the mistake of asking me to read something.
Yeah.
And then when I was like, hey, I liked that. Can I have some more? And you were like, what? No.
What?
And I was like, but why? You're not dead.
You're not dead. I will say, going again. Actually, you said something the other week, and I can't remember where you were, but you said something the other week about like indie authors almost releasing too many books at the same time.
Yeah, that was probably on a live stream. So there is something to said, like once you're releasing more than 2 books a year, unless it's like, something you've been spending a chunk of time on.
Yeah.
Quantity does not necessarily equate quality. And I think people are currently, or I say people, authors are currently so, what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, I'm
concerned.
Yeah, concerned with getting a body of work.
Yeah.
That they're just trying to crank them out. And I would much rather, don't get me wrong, as happy as I am to get a new book every 4 or 5 months, even or less, I would still much rather wait a year or 8 months for something that, has gone through a couple of drafts, gone through the edits, gone through the beta readers, gone through alpha readers, gone through all of those steps.
Yeah.
And then I know I'm getting something that is as polished as you could possibly make it, instead of going, hey, I got, 3 betas on it. It's been to an editor and a line editor. They may not have read the book at all. I've actually come across that many times in ND where I'll be like, hey, I found 20 typos in the first chapter. And they're like, I paid somebody to take a look at this.
Yeah.
Or like I'll get a released book. And they'll be like, hey, here's this. And I'll be like, what happened here? And they're like, you're the first person who bothered to tell me about these typos. I've gotten that at least 3 times you're the first person to even say anything to me. I'll go back and fix them.
And in behalf of everybody in the writing community, thank you. Because you can't fix something when you don't know it's broken.
Yeah, and so there's this thing with authors when like you're looking at this page or this body of words so often that even if a typo is staring you right in the face, you just can't see it. Because your brain just auto corrects it.
Yep.
Like you read the typo and it just auto corrects in the brain to it's not even there. And so it helps to have
it's like a dog with the fire burning in the background. This is fine.
And so I would much rather have quality versus quantity. Now I still want my quantity, but I'm willing to wait for my quantity.
Yeah.
So that's a long-winded way of saying that.
Well, and I think you, me, and almost everybody else is really actually looking for something to love.
Yeah.
And it gives you a much better chance to create something that's lovable when you've given it 1,000 kisses and 3 other people have given it 1,000 kisses to get it where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Oh, Josh is here. Josh.
Yeah, Josh.
Readers. God bless him.
Is he an alpha?
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. Josh is good. I just did a live show with Josh.
Yeah. I saw the live show. Weekend. I didn't see it live, but I saw it the other day, and I saw the.
Josh is amazing. I'm jealous that he's going to Japan.
Yeah, man. He's going to have a blast. He's got like 3 books to read on the plane. He's going to get them all done.
I mean, listen, I've flown to China and I've flown to Taiwan. Those are not short flights.
No.
So they take a long time, and it's murder to sleep on those flights, especially if you're not flying first class.
Yeah. As it turns out, I can't afford a first class international flight. So,
You're telling me Emmy winner AR Witham can't afford first class?
They don't come with a cash prize. It's really disappointing. I picked them up and flipped them over and looked for the money underneath them on the base of the statue. I was like, what Where's the dough?
3-time Emmy Award winning screenwriter AR Witham must ride coach.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And once you've ridden in first class, there is no going back.
Yeah, well, I the only time I've ever been in first class, it was an old plane, and they just bumped up my ticket, and that was on my way to Columbia.
Oh,
And it was kind of boring.
Yeah, boring, but a long flight is the one that you want to get bumped up on.
That's fair enough. Well, I think we have fooled around enough, chin wagged, as you will. Let's go ahead and show people the trial of Rooker Flynn. Did I get that right?
The trial of Rooker Flynn.
All right, let's add this to the stage, and you can feast your eyes on this gorgeous red book. And I got to say, one of the things I love about the cover, because you sent it to me last week, I have been sitting on this for a while, is I love the consistency that you have across the series where you've got that grimoire look. I'm still waiting for my leather-bound metal end cap with the latch for my special editions.
Me too.
Yeah. We'll do like a Kickstarter or something like that. It'll have to fund by about $1 million,
right?
But yeah, it'll be like lambskin with gold leaf. Anyway, I'm getting off track. I like the consistency where you've got the latch and you've got the portal, because you can see the ship coming out. Which, if you're looking at the background, this is an illustration from Legend of Black Jack of this same ship, which AR had to remind me of this morning. Or this afternoon, I should say.
Yeah.
It's like, here's this artwork. It's the same ship. And I was just like, oh. But I don't know. I love the water splashing out. I love it. It's that kind of like almost like an Asian style sail.
Yeah. So the original with the original Blackjack story, when we were talking with the illustrator when I was writing it, I wanted at least some Asian elements with it. I wanted those pagoda style buildings with the roofs that came up. And for this, I wanted that junk style sail ship that is that Japanese junk style that I think is fantastic. And yeah, I mean, he got a pagoda in on the top. He got the junk sails. So, it looks just as Asian as I want her to. So I was very, and this is, boys and girls, this artist's name is Alejandro Colucci.
I was just about to ask. I was like, we need to credit the artist. Tell us about Alejandro.
Is astounding. So Andrew, in addition, got me into Hob. He and Derry came after me and said, you need to read Hob. So I did. Colucci had done Realm of the Elderlings for Hob. He'd done a bunch of internal illustrations. He did covers for them. He did Anne Rice. He did Steven Erikson. And he did Chiago's books as well. And so I called Chiago and I was like, hey, dude, do you mind if I borrow your artist? And he was like, no, go ahead. I'm like, cool. I got a lot of red and yellow I want to use. So let's go.
Fair enough. Well, that is a pedigree for a cover artist.
Yeah. Well, and I'm completely with you. Everything that goes on in this realm of what I'm writing is going to have that same look with the center circle and the lock on the side, just so you know it's one of those Keymark books. And he took it and made it into something that was 3D and came straight out at you. I was like, brother, you killed it.
Did he also do the first book?
He did all three of them.
Nice.
Yeah, he did all three. He was like, you serious? You want spiders like crawling out of a hole? I'm like, yep. Just imagine that there's a drain toilet and there's spiders coming out of it.
Now, did you add any details to this? Because I know you did this one, right?
Let's see. Sarah Ferrari did that one.
Sarah did this one?
Yep, Sarah Ferrari did that one.
Okay.
And there was originally internal art on that one that got thrown out. And then on these, I mean, you, again, God bless you. You were the one that said, hey, don't worry about doing the internal art.
It's a financial strain that doesn't need to happen.
When I looked at it, it was like, even if I just wanted to do 3 per book, it was going to be close to 10 grand.
Yeah.
Ponderings of Pete, great with him. I won't be able to take a dump tonight.
We're just gonna put that on your official cover reveal.
Every time you sit down on the can from now on.
Well, because I know for the illustrations in this one, you have what, like 20?
Yeah, in
But
Blackjack, there were 20, 21 of them.
you had a team that you could then have them just say, hey, give me this piece of art as an animation, and then you took stills of those. And that's why you were probably able to afford all of the art that's in this.
Yeah.
When we were talking last, I was just like, no, don't do that to yourself.
Thank you.
Art is so incredibly expensive that, like, wait for the books to come out, wait for them to pay you back if they do pay you back, because not every author is guaranteed to make their money back on their book.
As it turns out, most of us don't.
Yeah, as it turns out. But like, don't think that. Like, would it be cool? Yes. Is it necessary? No.
No.
No. And frankly, if you had done it for 3 books, we probably would not have found your body after your wife was done with you.
Yeah. There'd be blood on the dance floor.
Yeah, there would be, in fact, blood on the dance floor. So, no, I think that is the correct move to, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you got like a pocket artist that can like give you like, hey, here's a piece of art or something like that, like, that'd be cool. But
yeah, Ortiz is my best friend. We hang out all the time, so he'll just throw me some stuff.
Yeah, Felix Ortiz. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, we swing by for beers every other Sunday of the month. I just fly to his country, and yeah, we grilled some burgers on the barbecue, and it's just a chill evening, and then I fly back home.
Hanging out. I do love his style though, and it's fun watching him work. And anytime you're lucky, and usually they're the special editions that get the interior artwork on them, but he's so damn good, it's not even funny.
Yeah, I mean, he's blowing up though, so.
Oh yeah, good luck getting him now.
Oh yeah, no, it like Broken Binding has basically got him almost under contract for just artwork at this point. Like, they've got him on retainer.
They're like, we need another 16. Let's go.
Yeah, crank it out. Yeah, we don't care about your previous commitments, like, because I think he's doing Malazan now.
Yeah, he's doing all of Malazan.
Yeah, they contracted him for all 10 Malazan Book of the Fallen, so he's fantastic. But man, I love the cover. I love the red, and I like the leathered look of it. I like the water that is that nice kind of contrast to that red. It really looks 3D, which I think is impressive.
Yeah, he did a great job with that spray. And one of the things that he added to the whole thing was each book gets progressively darker in terms of the red that's on the cover, and gets more messed up and more stained. So that, by the time you get to the 3rd book, they're like blotches of black on it, as it's had the hell beat out of it. Because the first one's like, oh, look, a nice little cherry. Oh, are you looking for anyone to proof listen to an audio arc? Madison, I'll give you anything you want. I love Madison.
Madison is amazing. She's one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
She's absolutely brilliant. And yeah, Daniel's got it nailed. RIP, all the indies looking for Felix Ortiz covers this year.
Well,
it's not going to happen.
What's great is that a new artist, just like a new author, always kind of rises up and takes the place of what was, and somebody's going to bubble up to the top and be the next thing that you just absolutely fall in love with. So, there's always another one around the corner. I just like seeing artists and authors getting paid. Like when you see Legends and Lattes get picked up by Tor, right?
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, hey, good on you, Travis.
I still need to get to Bookshops and Bone Dust. I've got it right there on the shelf to read, but haven't gotten around to it yet because I'm buried under books.
Well, you made a commitment to clear your shelves, did you not?
I did.
And you're going to need it. You think you're going to need until May to do it?
Oh, no. That's just to clean up my in progress.
Okay.
That's just that half, and then the rest of the back half of the year, I'll start some new stuff. I'll continue some digital series, but I'm being very strict with reading what I have. I think I've maybe let in 2 novellas
Right.
this year so far that I didn't own, and one of them I've already purchased to put it on the shelf. So now I can say, well, no, I actually own that one.
Right. I've got
I
it.
read it and then I purchased it to kind of circumvent the rules.
Well, and you said to your patrons, you were like, okay, no more recommendations until the end of May, right?
Yeah, absolutely. How do you know that?
I actually watch your channel.
Oh, yeah.
You make these videos, and weirdly, they're public, where anybody can get to
I
them.
forgot that I talked about that on one of my videos. I was just like, wait a minute, like I posted that to my patrons, not, and then I was like, oh, I did mention that on the channel. Okay, yeah. No, they were all just like, oh yeah. So like I'm compensating them other ways. I'm doing monthly giveaways on my Patreon, as I just was like, hey, as long as I ignore you guys and ignore the specific perk of my Patreon, I'll do a monthly giveaway for you guys. We'll do monthly chats and all that sort of stuff. Which I did last night, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, we're here to talk about your book. So when can we expect these books?
So what we sell no wine before it's time, right?
Yeah. Well, okay. What's the ETA, estimated time of
the ETA
arrival?
right now is, I honestly think that ARCs are going to go out at the very end of April. That's
Okay.
if everything goes correctly. And then the release of the book would theoretically be a month after that, but I've got to get the audiobook done before the first book goes out, and then the second book needs to be, the ebook and the paperback need to be done, and I can do the audiobook during the time, because I'd like to. Was it Philip Chase who did like 3 books in 5 months?
Yeah.
Like with the way have you done? And I thought that was a really cool way to go about doing it. So I'm kind of pursuing the same things. Like, okay, if they're done, go ahead and go.
Fair enough. And expected length?
All of them are about 90,000. So
that's not too bad. That's what, 280 to 300 pages?
Yeah, well, 300 and change.
300 and change?
300 and change, especially the way I do it, because I really love stopping at a chapter and saying, okay, take a beat, take an entire page, chapter number, chapter title, give you a quote, take a breath. Okay, let's jump in. So that eats up whatever 25 pages. But yeah, and I wanted them shorter. Actually, dude, originally it was like when I first started putting it together, I thought I was going to do it all in one book. And then I realized that what I was writing was going to be like 270,000 words. Once I got done with Act 1, I was just like, I'm not doing that to people.
I mean, you could feasibly do it. I believe Ryan Cahill did.
I am no Ryan Cahill.
Well, no, I'm not saying you are, but I mean, you could do it. It would be what, 900 pages?
It'd be like 900 pages. I don't want to be that guy. So, and it structurally, it broke up into 3 acts really well. So it was like, okay, let's do it this way.
So before we sign off, why did you choose to do a trilogy on Rooker Flynn rather than come back to Blackjack?
I hate to tell you, brother, but it's always been the plan. One of the things that people comment on a lot is, as much as there was a plan, I thought I could do Blackjack and quit and be done. What, you don't want to be Sanderson? No, sorry. But the original plan was, okay, if I'm going to do something else, I'm going to do something. I can't do the coming of age father figure story again. So I need to shift gears. And this one he is the best. And this one is about a different theme and a different character, and takes a very different tack on what we're talking about in things that happen in your life. So Rooker was the obvious guy for the next one.
So is this a prequel or a sequel?
This happens after. This takes place about a year after the events in the Legend of Blackjack.
Okay.
And no one needs to read Legend of Blackjack in order to read this book.
Well, that's fair. Are we going to get any cameos from favorite characters?
Our lips have
Did
seen
you kill me off in this story?
Well, yeah, we got to kill everybody off in the story. I mean, there's no point in having a reform school if we're not killing people off in the story. But the whole idea was to make it easy for somebody to be able to jump into the Rooker Flynn story without feeling like they absolutely had to read Blackjack in order to get there.
Okay, fair enough. Well, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous cover. You should be very proud of it. And I can't wait to see these in person.
I can't wait to give them to you. All I can do is make sure that they show up at your house. Hopefully you'll have time to read them at some point.
Hey, I have physically almost 40 review copies. So I will do my best. I maybe it's closer to 30. I don't know. I need to go count. But that is what the second half of my year, that's the project, is getting review copies under control.
Right?
Which means I'm going to have a very indie heavy second half of the year. Very indie heavy. There's a couple trads in there, but it's going to be mostly indie.
Yeah, I hope you're looking forward to it, because I think you've been an indie proponent forever and one of the loudest voices.
It's been a couple of years.
Yeah. I hope you still feel the same way, that you get a little bit more sparkle out of the indie book sometimes than you do with the trad.
I do. I still have a lot of love for indie. And I mean, I've been showing a lot of love to trad the first portion of this year, but that's because I always neglect my trad series and then just start 50 of them, don't finish them, buy them all, and then continue back to indie. So I've got to actually kind of be like, okay, indie, I'll come back to you later.
I'll come back.
I'm not going anywhere, but I have to go get this under control. I've got to put the fire out.
Mm-hmm. Well, and in your position, it feels like it's never going to stop, right? Because the release rate just keeps going and going and going. You're a hero, man. I don't know how you manage to take care of so many authors in a single year. I think you're amazing.
I don't know either. It happens.
It's by DNFing.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you find something that's crap, throw it out.
Yeah, pretty much. I DNF very quickly these days. Very, very, very quickly.
Yep.
So Pete says I'm his indie hero. Well, that is the cover reveal for the trial of Rooker Flynn. There will be a third cover reveal. Who knows when that will be? I've got this nice hat from the Legend of Blackjack. This is Jack's symbol. It is very cool. It is a comfortable hat. And you got this to my house very, very quickly.
And it's the only one in existence. That is the
only one in existence.
I don't have one. Nobody has one. That's it.
I'm so honored to put my greasy head in this.
I like that hat on you very much, but I also like the dad hat that you've been wearing recently.
I love that dad hat. Here, just for you, Britton. Here we go. Here it is again. You don't have to miss it. It's the trial of Rooker Flynn. Take it in. Take a couple seconds. We won't sign off just yet, but it's a gorgeous cover. You've done good, and I'm very excited for people to get to see this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. And the cover is just the cover, right? My job is to make sure that the interior actually lives up to what you're expecting it to be.
Well, hey, once they've already bought the book, you've got their money.
Oh my God, I never thought of it this way. All I need to do is sell the book. It doesn't need to be good.
Yeah, right? Don't quote me on that.
What an idiot I've been. This could have been done a year ago.
Yeah, right? You don't need to edit, just gorgeous cover, do a really strong initial marketing campaign, and then peace out.
No, that's it. It's just going to have some lines and some filigrees and some place for you to put in notes. So it's going to be like a journal.
Yeah, right? No, I'm excited for this book, and I'm very happy that you listened to me and decided to write it.
I'm almost happy that you made me.
Hey, you know what? You can always send as many expletives my way as you want.
I will.
All right, that's all we really got for you today, guys. So till next
Thank you
time,
very much.
peace out. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.